Very good.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay. 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 Hmm. Okay. Okay. Look like we stop right here. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. What is an Asura? Once the Jade Emperor God met such a beautiful and gorgeous female Asura, he immediately married her. One day, the Jade Emperor God Indra, or Chakra, wanted to go and listen to the Buddha preach the sutras. He could transform into a human body to come to the human world to listen to the Buddha preach the sutras. But his sharp Asura wife became jealous. You can only go there one day. I don't know which demon or fox spirit captivated you. Are you running after some vixen?
What do you think?
This is understandable.
Hmm.
I know humans like this.
Yeah, also the God also like this, right?
Yeah.
You don't learn this thing in other religion, I guess. Not much. Hmm.
Hmm. No, I don't think so.
Hmm. Uh, okay, all right, go ahead.
She accused her husband of having an affair with another woman. Women in this world are not the only ones who know how to be jealous of their husbands. Finally, Indra's wife decided to follow her husband herself to see what he was doing. When Indra entered the Dharma assembly to listen to the sutras, he bowed respectfully to the Dharma master and then found a seat. Coincidentally, that day, a woman was sitting next to Indra. When the Asura wife saw this, she immediately appeared in her true form, faced Indra, and complained, "No wonder you come here every day to make friends with these women." The Jade Emperor was very angry. "I came here to listen to the sutra lecture, but you interrupted and disturbed the entire ashram. What a serious obstacle you caused." After speaking, the Jade Emperor slapped her in the face. She cried and ran to find her father, demanding a divorce and not returning to her husband's house. Her father immediately defended her and promised to wage war against the Jade Emperor. "I will defeat him and take the throne," he comforted his daughter. "Don't worry about anything."
Wow. You see that?
Mhm.
Hmm. Demanding a divorce.
Yeah, I mean, this could happen in the human world easily.
Yeah. But we don't expect that to happen in the other world.
No, I wouldn't expect Indra to slap his wife. I would not expect that because to get to that state of cultivating blessings for so long, it seems like one would learn to avoid violence
Uh-huh.
and to so easily. I wouldn't see myself engaging in violence for like it would take a lot more to push me over to the edge where I would lose control.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would take, but maybe someone, I don't know, really hurting my daughter badly or something might push me over the edge. But this seemed to be a relatively, you know, minor thing.
But maybe there's something that we don't see in the story, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Mhm. And remember, jealousy is very, very ugly, very powerful in the negative way. It
Mhm.
destroys relationship. It destroys family. Mm. And if we jealous to our friend, yeah, it destroys friendship. If we jealous with other country, it we go to war.
Mhm.
Really. And you remember in the universal what the vow what the universal conduct Bodhisattva, the 10 vow, the 10 great vow. You remember which vow dealing with this thing?
Mm.
You know all the 10
Yeah,
great vow.
10 great vows. Yes. So it is to rejoice in other people's good fortune.
Yeah, that means joyful, right? To be the fifth vow.
It's also one of the four limitless states frequently talked in Tibetan Buddhism, where they have a visualization where you see a baby camel um, that is reunited with its mother, and
Huh.
the joy that the mother has of being reunited with its child, that like visualizing that and then feeling joy for that reunite. Re, oh yeah, how do you turn that into a noun? Reunition? No, reunion. That reunion. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
So and it's very tough to practice the joy, right? To rejoice, right? And usually for the one who have the habit of jealousy, don't you think it's very tough for them?
Yes. Yes. Even one who isn't necessarily obviously jealous, it could be difficult because so say a friend, you know, like I had an experience where I took a different route as a doctor. I didn't get hired by someone else. I started my own practice.
Hmm.
So for me to build up my income is slower than some of my friends.
Hmm.
And it didn't really bother me by myself, but I began to be conscious of, well, how does my wife feel about it? If
Hmm.
she sees my friends having, and I don't know, she wouldn't, she wouldn't be upset by it, or she never said anything, but I found that for myself.
Hmm.
And then I noticed that I had some jealousy arising around it. When I'd see my friend and he'd talk about his car, he'd talk about
Oh, okay.
how much money he's paying off on, how quickly he's paying off his medical school loans, or all these other things.
Hmm.
And one of the hooks for me was feeling like I was doing something wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and so I had to face that, and you know, I communicated around it with him. I like shared it with him and told him, and it's all good now, but it's yeah, it's I think it's pretty easy to fall into if we're not careful.
Hmm. So comparison, right?
Yeah.
That is also that's why when we raise our children, try not to compare our children with other kids. Because you know what? You know what is the problem when we do that to our kids?
Then they internalize that. They'll start comparing themselves.
Hmm. And also, we will put a lot of pressure on them. And we expect that she or he should be similar to that or even better, right?
Hmm.
But what happens if our children cannot be able to go that they don't have that ability?
It could make them feel like they let us down.
And also, that will become the depression in the long run. So yeah, it's not good. It takes me some time after I realize that it's not a good idea to compare our children with others. We encourage them to learn to do their best and always look out and care for others instead of care for themselves. Because this in the long run become very positive environment and positive outcome for them to grow. They can become more mature in the positive way. Don't you think?
Yes.
Mm. So,
Yeah.
and that's why when I teach the children here, I don't compare this one with that one. No, I don't. I try avoid to doing that because that is not how we encourage them to fight with each other, to compete with each other. No, that's not a good idea. Because we want them to treat them with others just like their family. That is a better way to look. Not treat them just like I want to compete with you. I want to be better than you, and this will create chaos and create a jealousy, and that's not a good idea. Yeah, sometimes when I teach a kid, some kid is slow compared to other. We know that, and slow kids sometimes they have a very tough time to focus. Usually because nowadays the device, right?
Yeah.
They attach too much on the device. And sometimes we have to spend a lot of time compared to other kids. It's okay. Because that is where we practice patience and compassion. So and other, of course, other kids, they love to learn. We will deal with that kid differently. But we try to treat them equally, depend on their level. So we will not be more favored than this person than the other. No, try not to do that. Especially when we have children around us. And that's why learn how to rejoice or joy other people's success. It's not easy. Don't you think?
Yeah. It takes a degree of, especially if we have less than them. If we have more than them, I think it's easier because in the comparison, we're still ahead in the comparison. But if we have less and we see someone else getting something that we would like to have, I think sometimes it's easier for our mind to be filled up with the desire to have that thing rather than to be happy for the other person that has it.
Let's
Uh,
say that we are less than them. How do we reframe our mind to be more positive?
oh, well, the ideas of greater and less than are problematic in and of themselves. And they're
Mm-hmm.
really, if we take it to the ultimate level, the essential nature is whole and complete just as it is. So if we're living in a way where we feel like we have more or less than someone else, then we're when we're thinking that way, we're buying into the illusion of our senses and we're not recalling the essential nature, which is whole and complete as it is.
Well, um, let's say that we are less than them, right? That means they are much better than us. If we look in this way, this is how I usually contemplate. Well, it's very tough to have someone better than us in a good way. Because this world, we have a lot of negative. We have a lot of people who only care about themselves, care less about others. But if we do have a friend that they are very good, not only with heart and virtue, more virtue than us. And that means this is good for our society. We need more people like this. Because it's not easy to find someone like this. Because one person like this can bring benefit to many. And that's the whole idea of why we live, right? The purpose of our life is to practice love and compassion, love and kindness and compassion. That's the whole idea. So that's why if someone is better than us, and also he or she is the one who help us to fulfill our need. And we also look up on them to learn from their virtue, their conduct, to correct our own mistake. And when we have that mind, you know what? The jealous is sleeping here. It just wake up, right? When you have the rather mind and the whiter more open, and you know what? This will go sleep again. You make them go to sleep.
Mhm.
No, make them wake up. And eventually we will make sure that we uproot those things. Because we still a common person anyway. It's normal to have this some kind of jealousy. But when we recognize it, we know we are jealousy inside here. Then we will make sure that those things it's not proper for us to have that kind of thought, that kind of jealousy. Then we should be able to contemplate that person in the good way. And you know what? It will help us to feel joy instead of feel jealous. It worked for me.
Mhm.
And we should invite that person to do more, encourage him to do more. Instead of focus on us, focus on them. Then you know what? If we be able to do that, the self-centric of our worry, gradually we reduce it, the manner little by little. That's important. Whatever we want, right? The whole practice is that what we do to practice? That's the whole idea, right? That's the whole thing we want to practice,
Mhm.
to transform the self. It's not easy to transform the self. Mm-mm. But when we be able to do that, you know what? The greatest is right there. We be able to win ourselves. Win order is easy, but win out yourself is not easy. Because
Mhm.
when we want to win order, we can use a lot of dirty trick, right? we
Yeah.
we play karma, bad karma,
Mhm.
and we don't want that happen to us. And we always aware, and when we aware of it and we know it, we acknowledge, we should contemplate in a positive way. Don't let those things, the bad thing arise. Make sure if they already arise, make sure they won't arise anymore. If the bad thing is not yet arise, try not let them arise. But if the good thing already arise, encourage them to arise. But if the good thing not yet arise, make sure they arise. They call the right effort in the eightfold path. Does it make sense?
Yes, Dad.
uh, yes, even though he was the king of the god, right? He's still a common person. Common person behave like common. So yes, he have more blessing, but at the only at the moment, right? We could not be able to aware we already defeat ourselves by anger. It happened to us all the time, right? But we try to aware each time we have those kind of anger. We try to see it, and when we see it, it will not materialize. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't see it, it will materialize. Then that is already too far.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So we learn to be humble and learn to encourage others, whatever good they have, and we encourage them to do more and learn from them instead of compare or jealous. No, never do that. Okay, go ahead.
War happens. Every day the Asura king fought with the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor commanded all of his emblems, including the crown, orb, and staff. But the ferocious force of the Asuras overpowered all three components of the Jade Emperor, and gradually the Jade Emperor was defeated. He lost his position very quickly.
Wow, he was defeated. He was defeated. Okay.
As a devout Buddhist, the Jade Emperor came to pay homage to the Buddha and asked for help. The Buddha gave him the robe and told him, "Bring this robe back to your palace and cut it into small ribbons. Give one to each of your soldiers and order them to tie it on their arms. Then tell them to recite this phrase, Maha Prajna Paramita."
You know what
The
does that
Jade
mean?
Emperor,
You know what does that mean?
yes, it means the great, indestructible wisdom that goes beyond.
Yeah, that is the Heart Sutra.
Mhm.
hmm
The Jade Emperor did exactly as Buddha taught. All heavenly soldiers memorized the phrase Mahaprajna Paramita. When the next war occurred, the Asura king was defeated by the heavenly soldiers. They completely failed to predict the power of the heavenly army and accepted defeat once and for all. Asura is also known as. Oh, okay, we started back over. Oh, keep reading.
Yeah.
Asura is also known as doing improper things. They have blessings in heaven, but no retribution for virtue. Asuras exist not only in the heavenly world, but also in the human world. The army, bandits, and robbers are the Asuras in the human world. But here there must be a clear distinction. In this country, America, the military is an obligation that all citizens are required to participate in. You mean like through taxes?
Hmm.
Do you mean through taxes?
Actually, when we 18, right, we want to go to school and we want to receive the rent, right, the finance rate.
Mm-hmm.
We have to register, right, I guess, in that we are the one who volunteer. I think it's to well, in each country we have to register some kind of but it's not physically participate into the military.
So the draft.
No, it's not really a rap, right? A rap that mean a
If
rap that what do you mean by a rap?
So we have to, yeah, at age 18, I think I haven't looked into this in a while, but I think, yeah, we all men over the age of 18 register for the draft, meaning that if there was a war,
Okay, okay.
you'd be drafted.
Yeah.
Like you could say whether or not you want to go to war, you have to.
Hmm. Hmm.
But otherwise we get to choose if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's more likely. Yeah, that's correct. That's what they mean.
Okay. Yeah, in Israel, everyone has to do 3 years.
Hmm. Because their population is very small, and the country also always go to war. They are at war at any moment, right? Because they live to next, well, You see that the people who are very arrogant, right? And who you know what, they don't want, they always want to fight, always want to compete, and always they're self-centric, right? And doesn't matter which side it right or wrong. Do you think is there any good outcome?
No.
No, not at all. That's what the Buddha said that. Well, hatred, deal with hatred, they no peace. But love and kindness, deal with hatred, eventually hatred will die out. That is Dhammapada that the Buddha teach. You remember those things?
Yes, I do recall that. I couldn't have placed it in the Dhammapada.
Or did you read those things?
I've read it before. Yeah, I have a copy. It's been a little bit since I read it though.
Okay, it's really good. Actually, that is very good teaching from the Buddha. Mm. Yeah, that's why the Buddha said that if we deal using hatred to deal with hatred, hatred never die. It creates more chaos. Just like right now between Hamas and Israel, Ukraine and Russia. And you see that one thing is break out, nothing can stop them. And a lot of people die. and it's very tough. It's very tough to deal with this thing. You remember there is a story in Buddhism, right? Buddha went to one of the villages, and the two villages they fight over the water source, right?
Hmm.
And the Buddha be able to calm them down and no war. But in this world, there no Buddha nowadays. What can the Buddha do? Yeah, many times among the king, they want to wage the war against other. Yeah, Buddha is also the one who step out and help them to prevent the war. No war. So yeah, yep. It's not easy to live in peace, especially nowadays, right? The big one always want to eat that small one.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the big one always want to bully the small one. And the good thing is America, US is not the perfect one, but actually they are the one who do the what do you call the police force task force for the world and try to keep peace, right? Um, Not easy task. To prevent all the big country to bully the small country. It's not an easy task. Okay, okay. So go ahead and read it.
Some soldiers are not asuras. Some of these people were forced into the army at a young age. At the age of 18, they had to join the army. At that age, they do not yet have the experience of fighting. Just hearing about war makes them panic. Combat troops are trained for 5 years. Usually, they are 23 years old if they join the army at 18 and are trained for 5 years. During that time, they have some experience. If going to the battlefield, they also gain some courage to deal with it. If they are too young, their concentration is not strong. They lack experience and they do not have courage and determination. So I, Venerable Xuan Hua, think that in the current military situation, not all soldiers are asuras. In ancient times, only those who really wanted to be soldiers or bandits were considered asuras. In addition to bandit soldiers, there is another type of asura. For example, people who are hot-tempered and always in conflict with others also have the nature of asuras. In general, asuras are people with hot-tempered habits. Wild horses are a type of asura. In the world of hungry ghosts, they are also asura.
What do you think?
And so the livelihood itself doesn't determine if someone's an asura, but rather their intention of being in that livelihood. If they're forced into it, you could say one's father was a bandit, and so when you turned 18, you were living with bandits, and you technically maybe were a bandit, but didn't want to be in that life, but didn't see a way to escape. That person doesn't really have the mindset of an asura, but is more of in an unfavorable situation, or the same soldier pressed in.
Actually, that may be not true. Actually, in here, the Venerable Master said that not all soldier are Asura, because if the soldier who are defend for the country, right, and do the good thing to defend country and not want to go to war, this is a good Asura. You can consider they are a good Asura. But if the soldier or the one who always waging the war or want to fight, and this is the bad Asura. Because soldier by itself, at the end, they will be some form of violence, right? Some form of fighting, but fight for the good or fight for the bad. That will determine good Asura or bad Asura. Bandits, well, bandits is mainly they are bad. Bandit is bad. So they also, well, they should be considered bad Asura. Human, we also have good people, we also have bad people. Asura, the same thing. They also have good Asura, they also have bad Asura. A good Asura, they are the one who do the Dharma protector. But the bad one, they always ready, they always want to fight, no matter what. So that's why, yes, if the people who have hot temper, they have a nature of Asura, I think this, this is that is correct. So any kind of hot temper, anger, right? This is the form of Asura. Wild hosts, they are very wild. That is Asura. But we also have a good host, so they are not Asura. Okay. Okay, all right.
Where is the land of Asura? According to the proper Dharma Remembrance Sutra, Asuras reside in 5 places. One is on the ground in the multitude-form mountain. The strength of this species of Asura is the weakest. Second is in the north of Mount Sumeru, going down to 21,000 yohanas to the sea. There was an Asura named Rahu who led the group of Asuras. Third, going deeper into the sea, another 21,000 yohanas, there was an Asura named Strong Firm. Fourth, going further 21,000 yohanas deeper into the sea, there was an Asura named Corolla Flowers More Powerful. Fifth, going deeper into the sea, another 21,000 yohanas, there is an Asura named Taimatatda. From within his Asura's body, a very loud sound emanated throughout the ocean, proclaiming himself, I am Taimatatda.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, it's describing these 5 locations of different Asuras, with the weakest being the first. And One is on the ground in the mountain, in this particular mountain, and then the rest, at least part, are down in the ocean. And it seems
From
as the
the from
stronger they
the
get.
from the Mount Samaru, right?
Yeah, so the second one, Mount Sumer, and then beginning to go down into the ocean, and then every subsequent one is deeper into the ocean.
They're more powerful, right?
Yeah.
You know this Rahu Sutra, if he stand in the ocean, right? Hit the ocean water is only at the hit maybe at the level of the belly.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It's really tall.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Okay, go ahead. What cause?
What causes will be born what causes will make someone be born in the Asura realm?
Hmm.
According to the Sutra of Differences of Karma, there is a complete discussion about the 10 karma deeds that must bear the retribution to become an Asura. First, the body does small evil deeds. Second, the mouth does small evil deeds. Third, the intention is to do small evil deeds. So, what would be a small evil deed?
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
fourth, the emergence of arrogance. For those who are worse than us, we think we are better than them. When it comes to people who are equal to us, we think we are equal to them. This psychology seems very natural. It cannot be said to be bad. However, when this psychology manifests, it is often arrogant, so it is not good.
Okay, what does it mean?
Yes, if say someone has a job that in society is thought to be less than the job that I have, for instance, let's say a janitor. And if I really thought that that's true, my job is better than that janitor's job, so I'm a better person, and that means I deserve a better life.
Hmm.
They're not as good as I am because they're just cleaning floors and I'm, doing medical stuff.
So
Um,
is that the psychology manifest already?
yeah, I think that if we buy into that concept, it is. And Master Swanhua had a really good way to concisely put it. He would say that if you think the one way to ensure you're not better than someone is to think that you are. If you think that they're better than you, then or that you're equal, like then maybe you might be better than them. Like maybe. But we can never conclude that we're better than someone else. And it aligns with the idea of the Buddha nature because all beings equally possess the potential to be Buddhas.
Mhm.
So, and appearances are deceiving. So, someone may be much more compassionate and kind and loving, even though they have a position in our society that's considered to be lower. So, in the eyes of the Buddha, they may be considered to be more developed, more realized than someone who has a very high position in society.
So that means the people who are equal, we also think we are equal. That is also the form of psychology manifest.
Yeah, it seems to be what it's saying here. So if we can't know that in with respect to the Dharma that we're equal to someone. I think the story of Shanti Deva is a good example of this. Like people thought Shanti Deva just ate and slept and went to the bathroom and never practiced Dharma. So they thought that he was below them.
Mm.
Um, so it would have been better for them to think he was equal to them. But even so, if they had thought that, it still would have been a mistake because the truly virtuous don't try to signal their virtue. They don't try to have other people know about their virtue because that's just a form of self-centeredness. So I don't think we can ever Like we can know that we're equal to someone because we don't know their inner life. We don't know, what they would do in different situations. So we're here. It's interesting how we started because here it's about comparison, and it seems to really emphasize the futility of comparison. And if anything, if we're going to think anything, it seems like the best is to think that others could be more virtuous than us. But I think even that could have its problem, because if I thought someone was more virtuous than me and they're not, I might follow their advice, and that advice could cause harm to me or harm to someone else. So maybe the best is to simply not make a conclusion unless it's very obvious that someone has demonstrated virtue over time.
In here, I think it's the word, the term arrogant. It means that one we acknowledge, one we label ourselves equal or better or whatever, right? It's already a self, a I. It means arrogant. I think this is what it means.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is what I understand it. Because when we say that we equal, that means we acknowledge the self in us, right? And that self or I, it means arrogant. But in the human world or in our uh, this is normal, so nothing wrong with it. But in Buddhism, well, any kind of comparison in this case here, um, it's it's the manner, right? So this is really good. Actually, it's really good. So any arrogant also it's not good. Okay. Go back to here. You remember the karma come from where? The mouth, the body, and the mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter they say small or big or medium. It not much matter. But the word evil is important. Don't you think? When the body is very evil, it means violent. Don't you think? It comes from violent, hot temper.
Mm-hmm.
Then it that compliant with the Asura, maybe.
Yes, violence would be.
Yeah, if we understand in that way, then okay, small evil.
If it's like instead of killing someone, slapping someone, or instead of stealing someone's entire wealth, stealing a small amount from them, like that being a small evil, or instead of telling a lie,
I
like.
think I think I think the evil in this way is not only talking about stealing, but any conflict.
Mhm.
It try the physical intact. That what it I think it will be suitable for the Asura.
Mm.
Because really doesn't mean that they go to Asura. Really can go to the hungry ghost or go to the animal realm. Depend on the type of the reading.
Mm.
If they are the one who take the money from the public, right? For example, the one who abuse the power when they holding the public government office, right? And they abuse the power. They take advantage to manipulate that money for their personal benefit. You know what? They end up not in the hungry ghost, but in the animal realm. You know why?
Why?
Because when they born in the animal realm, they were born in the animal that to do the heavy work for the public. Maybe in the old days we don't have the industry, and the animal who do all the farming work, right? And who carry all the heavy stuff, and that's what they do to repay the public. Because when you take the public money, you don't know who is the debt collector, and you don't know how to repay them, because you don't know the debt collector. Then the better thing is just go and do the public work. It's like, let's say that we have a traffic ticket, right? And we don't want to go to we don't want to pay the court for the ticket. And you know what the court do?
And what?
For if you say that I don't have money to pay for it,
Oh yeah, you have to do community service.
yeah,
Yes.
you have to do the community service
Uh-huh.
to pay off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Similar mechanism as karma.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. Well, no, it well, don't give me a skill that I don't have money, I don't have to pay for it. Well, you have to pay for it, but in another form. Okay, go ahead.
Fifth is the emergence of self-pride. Claim the five aggregates as the self or mine. Sixth is the rise up.
Oh, you understand the self-pride and arrogance?
Yes. Yes. So in this case, this isn't, I mean, the way that if we're saying, if I think I'm equal to someone else, it would be arrogant if that other person was clearly better than me. If people could see clearly, it was just obvious the other person was better than me and I thought I was equal to them, then that's arrogance, because I'm not looking at it clearly. I'm seeing it through the lens of I automatically am biased towards myself. That if someone else were just like me and they actually were equal to me, if I was arrogant, I would see them as lower. And if someone had like more virtues better than me, because I'm arrogant, I don't see my own faults and I do see their faults. So then I see us as equal. So it comes into favoring ourself and
So what
not
is the self-pride? What the difference between the two?
self-pride is that because it is mine, it is better than something that is not mine. Or because it is me, it's better than something that's not me.
You see the claim the five aggregate?
Mm-hmm.
That means you look at the five aggregate as self, right? And arrogant is
Most people do.
yeah, that's right. That's why we call self-pride. That is the I just want to make the distinct,
Mm-hmm.
right? Self-pride, that means we blame our body, our emotion, our thinking, or our whatever, right? From the five aggregate. That is self-pride. But any kind of comparison, right? It's arrogant. So arrogant is from outside. Pride is more inside, related to the body and the mind or the emotion. Oh, oh, okay. All right. Number 6.
Sixth is the rise of supreme arrogance. If have not yet attained the fruition, we claim ourselves to have attained the fruition. If have not yet eliminated all afflictions, we say that we have completely eradicated all afflictions.
Oh, this is very good. What do you understand?
Yeah, this comes out of, I mean, egoism, that it's a development of common arrogance into, instead of simply thinking that we're better in a worldly way, we also can think that we're better in a spiritual way, without actually having attained anything. It's like it's a form of delusion. We believe that we're so great that, I believe I'm so great. I could believe that I have attained these things I haven't attained. And I think early on in the practice, at least for me, when I first started, I did have this sense that, maybe I could quickly attain some sort of realization. And so I would kind of continually wondered if maybe I had reached some sort of special stage. Like, I think supreme arrogance is born out of really extreme ignorance. The more that we learn and we appreciate, the more humble that we'll become, because the more we realize that we, in relative to the knowledge of the Buddha, it's, my personal knowledge is relatively insignificant. Um, and then having a greater willingness to see one's own faults, develops over time. Whereas with arrogance, someone can be breaking the precepts and think, oh, I can break the precepts because I'm so great, because it's me. It doesn't matter. I don't have to follow the precepts and I can still attain enlightenment.
Hmm.
And I think there's some.
Or someone, for example, nowadays you will hear someone say that I have attained Arhat or Buddha, right? Buddhahood,
Mhm.
and they claim themselves as an Arhat or Buddha.
Yeah.
This is the supreme arrogance. So what is the problem when they claim themselves like that?
Well, they can lead people astray. And
Mm.
then that is a really heavy karma. There's examples of that. The one I think of is this. Um, I don't remember the exact details, but it was a spiritual teacher who misled people, claiming to have realized enlightenment, but he hadn't. And then after he died, every time his followers made offerings at his like his stupa, it was as if hot lava was pouring over his body.
Mm.
Because if it's bad enough if we mislead ourselves, but if we mislead others, then the karma is significantly heavier.
That's right. And the Buddha said that who do this? That means they are the one are the great liar. And the great liar it means they will fall to hell. No exception. Okay, so and also the one who not yet eliminate affliction, but they say that they are completely eliminated, eradicated. And this is also they are the one who lie themselves and also lie to others. Right? This is supreme arrogance. That means if we are completely eradicate all affliction, that means we are the one, the enlightened one. But but we are not. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we stop right here. I think we are about time. Okay. Let's do the 7. We stop it.
7. 7 is the rise of surpassing arrogance. When dealing with people who are equal to us, we think we are better than them. Towards people who are superior to us, we think we are equal to them. Oh, okay. So I was talking about that earlier, but it has its own category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other, it's just arrogant, but they are surpassing arrogant. I hope I use the term correctly in when I do the translation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. There's like some small ways of saying things
Mm.
that maybe just wouldn't be someone like an English teacher would say is not perfect, but
Mm.
it's all completely understandable.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So when a supreme arrogant, surpassing arrogant, so I try to translate it in to match with the Vietnamese version. Okay. All right, that's good. All right, let's stop right here. We any question before we start?
No, okay.
Okay, we only learned the first Dharma protector in the A class, right? We have 8 different classes of Dharma protector.
Oh wow, so we're starting with the first one. Okay. And this is not actually from this part's not from the Flower Adornment Sutra. It's
But
to
that but this is very important. You will
it
see it
helps us
over
understand.
again in Buddhist sutra. So that's why I think it's a good idea to understand in detail. So it will help you when you read it, the sutra, you'll be able to reconnect.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's we're gonna be it's super comprehensive.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. It's good.
Okay, go ahead.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Good, thank you. I see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you, Ty. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes.
Thank you.